I'm Joe Malone. This is the Bulls Chat podcast, and joining me, the head coach, the general manager of the North Iowa Bulls, Todd Sanden. Coach, good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Joe. Thank you.
We're going to talk a little bit about a weekend against Wilmar, a Wilmar weekend for the North Iowa Bulls, and it started off big right from the get-go. Friday night on the road, the first part of a home-and-home series for the Bulls, and the Bulls just went out and set a franchise record with 8 goals in the first period of a 13-3 win. Did you expect anything like that to happen Friday night in the first period, Coach?
Absolutely not. We were not very good in practice on Thursday, so I was really surprised that we started the game as well as we did on Friday, to be honest with you.
8 goals and none given up in that first period. How long did it take for for you to have the realization, holy cow, we're a lot different than we were in practice? Was it before the goals started coming or after like the 5th one?
Well, I think I saw our pace. Like we were just buzzing and we were making plays, and we just happened to finish a lot of plays. We had some rush situations, odd man situations that we just found the back of the net on. And you know, when you see that you're getting chances consistently, you kind of have an idea that you're going to have a pretty good night. And each line we sent out there was generating chances. So I guess once the kids got going, when they're generating chances, and it doesn't matter what line's out there, we're just tossing them over the boards, and each line is generating chances. And then they start to find the back of the net. That's when we just kind of stay out of the way and let them do what they do.
Now, the Bulls, it was funny. I was heading out for the varsity Mohawk game on Friday night and walking up the stairs at the arena, and somebody had asked me, hey, do you know the score of the Bulls game? And I'm like, oh, no, I don't. I should check. And so I fired up the app on my phone and nearly dropped my phone when I saw that it was 11-1 in the second period. I'm like, wow, I think we're doing all right tonight. So,
yeah.
Bulls go on to win 13-3, and then the action headed south to the Mason City Arena for Saturday night Halloween contest. And this one was a much tighter affair. North Iowa scoring first, Wilmar answering back in the first period. North Iowa growing a little bit of a lead, but it wasn't until the third period, about 7 minutes in, that the Bulls really started to pull away in that game. What made this one so much of a tighter affair, and just the contrast between 13-3 and 5-2 to me is kind of interesting.
Yeah, you know, I always think there's adjustments made from night to night. We had a little bit of a different lineup. I'm sure Wilmar made adjustments because obviously they started the game differently than the previous evening. So when you look at it, and I think there's a mindset too when teams score a lot of goals, whether it's the night before or the weekend before the last time you played an opponent, there's you tend to think that it might be easier the next time you play. And it's obviously not the case, especially Wilmar's a well-coached, proud team, and they're going to give you every bit of compete level that they have every night. So I think Friday nights really was an anomaly of our guys just buzzing and making plays and finding the back of the net. And I think Saturday's game was probably more indicative of what a West Division game is going to be like.
Now, when it comes to Saturday night, and in addition to the on-ice action, there was a Halloween theme going on, trick-or-treating taking place. I believe you were out passing out candy for a little bit during one of the intermissions. What was the best costume you saw at the arena? Is there anything that sticks out in your mind?
I have to be honest. I'm so focused on the game and with our players at that point, I don't even think I remember I don't remember a costume that stands out. You just get so wrapped up with your team in these games and just trying to keep everybody going, everybody happy, and getting the outcome that you're looking for. I'm sorry, I don't have a costume to claim as a favorite.
See, part of me was hoping you'd say my Murder Hornet costume, but evidently that didn't happen. Everybody's like, Joe, you're a bumblebee, and I'm like, no, I'm a Murder Hornet. I'm not a bumblebee. Shout out to the dollar store for my last minute costume too. So,
right on.
Now, one of the highlights of the weekend for the Bulls announced earlier this week, Sota Isogai named as the West Division Bauer Hockey Star of the Week. third straight North Iowa player to earn a Star of the Week award after Garrett Freeman and Braden Utek earning those honors the last 2 weeks. That's a pretty impressive streak for the Bulls to have.
Yeah, it is. And Soto was awesome this weekend. He scored an absolute ridiculous shorthanded goal on Friday night up in Wilmar, where it was just sheer determination and skill that allowed him to make the play that he did to score that shorthanded goal. But it's good to see Soto get rewarded for his efforts too. And the start hasn't been easy for him. It's been a little streaky. So we're super excited that he had a great weekend last weekend, got rewarded by being named the West Division Player of the Week. And hopefully this just launches him into more really good weekends, because he's a very important player in the whole grand scheme of how successful our team is able to be.
Now, is this something that the guys talk about in the locker room? Oh, hey, look, it's the West Division Star of the Week. That sort of thing. Is it attaboys that go around, or is it not even part of the conversation?
No, of course. Like, we recognize the guys, and I think these guys are pretty good about keeping tabs on the North American League and the NA3HL on their phones and on their apps. So it is something like our guys they're excited when one of their teammates is selected for that award.
That is awesome. Now, next up for the Bulls is 2 games at home this Friday and Saturday. It is Wilmar on Friday night and then Alexandria on Saturday night. And Wilmar, we've seen 2 very different games the last 2 weekends out of that. Alexandria, the last 2 games that you've played have been 2 very different games. As a matter of fact, Alexandria has one of the 2 wins this season against the North Iowa Bulls. What sort of matchups are you thinking you're going to see this weekend?
Well, I think definitely we know both opponents. Obviously, we know Wilmar a little bit better because we played them more times. Spending time and just breaking down some video on both opponents. We'll spend probably a bit more time on the Alexandria since they did beat us the last time we played them. But, I mean, it's just the due diligence that we do weekly with breaking down video and getting our guys ready to be as good as they can be on Friday and Saturday night. And most of the time we're focused more on our group than the team that we're playing against. Certainly we put some system stuff in play for different teams, but it's a full week of effort from the staff and the players to get ready to play those games on the weekend.
Now, if I could ask you a little bit of, and you don't need to give away the tricks of the trade, but when you're breaking down video, are you looking at like tendencies of when a defender's got the puck behind his own net, which side he goes to more often than not? Does it get that granular when you're doing stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely, especially on power play breakouts where, if they run a swing breakout where the defenseman will set up behind the net and he'll come out and the 2 players will swing to the wall. A lot of teams will go to one side more than other, and then we just shift our forecheck into trying to close down that lane or seal off that pass. So, and once in a while, if we're good and we're quick, we jump it and get shorthanded opportunities from it. So, yeah, of course, you are looking at situations and some formations and just tendencies. So, you're absolutely right on, Joe. There's little things that you can pull out that can give you a lot of help in the games if you execute them.
Do you enjoy that part, the kind of chess match, setting up a game plan?
I do. I think Coach Hicks is better at breaking down the video and pulling that kind of stuff out. I mean, I do it as well, but yeah, I mean, when you see something, it's just like the light goes on. You're like, oh, we can defend that, or yeah, we can exploit that. If we put a puck here and we have a guy there, we should get an opportunity from it. So yeah, it's a fun part of the job. It's really time consuming, but it is a fun part of the job.
Well, all the time is worth it when you see it work. It's like, ooh,
of course,
it happened.
Absolutely,
that
100%.
Staring at my tablet paid off.
100%.
Now, this weekend is going to be a jersey auction weekend. The North Iowa Bulls will be wearing special Decade of Dominance jerseys. And by the way, whoever came up with the moniker Decade of Dominance, props on that, because I love the sound of it. It's got a great ring to it. And that's what the Bulls have been for the past 10 years. These jerseys were on display, I believe, Saturday night. You could see what they looked like, or maybe I shouldn't have seen what they looked like in a back room. I don't know. They look awesome. They look awesome, and the players will wear them, and then the fans will have a chance to bid on and own these jerseys after the game on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's the moniker itself. It's a little too boastful for me to. And I know we have a hat. I don't have one of those hats. It's just a little too much for me. But I do know we've been so blessed here with great families, great players, great support to allow us to have this opportunity and the amount of players who have received opportunities by playing here. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing that we do to help players continue their playing career, either in college or some of them even at the pro level.
Yeah, and, well, you can see that. You can see the who's who of who's gone on to big things from the Bulls when you get there for the pregame hype video. You know, it breaks it down, shows you where the players are now playing and the accomplishments that they have made. And a decade of dominance, looking forward to it. Friday night, Saturday night at the Mason City Multi-Purpose Arena. Head coach, general manager Todd Sanden, thanks so much for being on the Bulls Chat podcast today.
Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate it.